two lovely little pieces that I made. I've got to try and get that reflection gone. How hard is it? All A1 pigments, and I'll take you through the colours that I used in a moment. I'm of course showing you the end product, and then just about to show you the beginning. This is the leftover resin from the resin I mixed up, and this is my sunset, which I think I might do one more layer on, and if I do so, I will show you how I've done it. But I do like, it doesn't actually look quite that bright in real life. I like how I sort of did the sun coming down with the reflection going off onto the yellow. And just some of the beautiful effects that naturally came up, which are always really difficult to see. It's a bigger sized canvas, I think it's 60 centimetre round, but just beautiful, beautiful effects and finishes in that resin with using all metallics except this orange here, which is a solid yellow orange. Look at me trying to duck my own shadow out of the way, and I'm really happy with it. But I do think I'll do another layer down, but it might not be for another week or so. Oh, look, the sun's just come out really well. But am I going to be able to show you what's going on? Oh, it's really hard, isn't it? Have a look in this one. Oh, I'm trying to... I really can't do it. That's it. This is how big I am. Look, that's my head. That's how big. But the sun's right in my face. All right, let me show you how I did it. I'm going to talk over the process that I did, because when I listened back to it, there was a lot of rain in the background and you can't hear me very clearly. So I'll take you through it the best I can, and happy creating! Here we go. So I'm working out where I'm going to make my horizon line, and what I haven't explained yet is that I have the notion of a sunset abstract in mind. So as you can see, I've brought my horizon line down to about 1/3 up, or sort of, you can see that I've tried to use the rule of thirds there. In retrospect, and of course there's so much in retrospect, when I'm watching it now, I should have probably brought it down a little bit further. So I've got the core part of the sun down, and the first line of the reflection, which is meant to be the sand and water, or shouldn't say meant to be, but representative of the sand and water area that my hand is working on now. And one of my greatest learnings in terms of doing a abstract with resin was that I forgot just how much resin blooms outwards. And during this whole process, I used way too much resin to have the controlled effect that I was trying to achieve. Nonetheless, it's a major learning for me, and I'm really excited to know that I've got that on board, and I'll certainly be utilizing that learning in the future. So here I go. I'm building my sun now, and I'm using the solid orange yellow, which was, well, and is one of my favorite colors, as well as the two golds that I used down to make my horizon line. And I'm pulling that orange through, and now just building the sun shape a little bit more. I become really a bit stuck at certain times doing this because it's a new style for me, doing the abstract. And I found it interesting. Notice that I'm using my left hand now, and I actually found working with both hands much more suitable for this type of work than just sticking to my right hand. By the way, I am generally right-handed, though some would say that I'm a bit of a both hand user. I cut with my left hand, chop food with my left hand, play a musical instrument with my left hand, but I write with my right hand. I actually do remember when I was in primary school, in prep, having the teacher keep taking my pen into my right hand. So it's possible that I was going to be a lefty, but had that residual leftover, the child of the devil only uses their left hand attitude trickle down into me. Okay, so I'm filling up all of the spaces now and just having a think about the way that the sun throws its light out on an angle, and I'm pulling my lines in that direction, then realizing that the sun's on the right side of the substrate, so I need to sort of angle the lines accordingly. I'm also trying to make effort to keep that side where the sun is lighter than the side that lighter than the left hand side of the substrate, because that would be darker because the light is not getting thrown there from the sun. I might not talk so much. I'm very confusing, aren't I? So I'm still building up the sun and still building up my patterns, and about now I'm starting to feel satisfied with the base structure of what the abstract will look like, and I'll now just start building my resin upon this. Now, in the future, I'd stop here and then let that cure where I'm up to, and then come back and build upon that, and do 2 or 3 layers like that. But I had poured a mixed 600 mils, and I didn't have any other I had one little tiny substrate with me. It was too far to go and get another substrate, so I just kept working. I become really stingy with my resin. I didn't even have any molds near me, which is bizarre because I usually do, but just in this particular work area I was limited with what I was doing, so I kept building upon what I was creating. What you can't see, and which has been incredibly difficult to capture on camera, is the amazing effects that all of these pigments have had within each other. All of the, oh, do you like that little move that I'm doing with my hand in terms of trying to do a rippling of the waves? I'm still thinking I might go back on my second layer and add a mermaid tail there or something like that, but I've decided to actually wait for a week or so before I decide what I'm going to do. Oh, now I'm adding my highlights, and look, I put way too much white down. As soon as I put it down, I thought, what have I done? That is just going to keep spreading so out of control. Oh well, it's down now. Best I put it all down. Oh no, I just toned it down a little bit. I would build up one of those eye puddle things that I like doing and then just blended it in, I think. But I had heaps of fun with this creation. Oh yeah, I'm using white now to add some highlights and help tone down a lot of that orange, which is, I guess, what I'm in two minds about with the final end. You know, it's a very, very bright painting, yet when you have a look at the details of it, it's just so gorgeous. And I think, I've said it 3 times now, so I just should shush. Yes, we know, Maggie, you're going to wait for another week to decide if you're going to do another layer. And if I do another layer, I'll actually record it because it will be good to see how I work it. So now I'm just building up the horizon line, just exaggerating it a bit more, doing the sun areas. And I think I might just be quiet now and you can see what I'm doing, making lines in the sky. And yeah, I had heaps of fun doing this, and these are all A1 pigments. Have I mentioned that? Yes, of course I have. They're a fabulous set of pigments. If you haven't got any, you really should get onto them. I'll put a link in the description. All right, I'm going to be quiet now. Oh, by the way, this video is ×4 speed. Okay.